You see the email from Agatha?
Alright.
We're gonna get a
Okay,
big pot of
we
plan.
are here.
Let's go outside.
We are live?
Sorry, I'm just in the middle of reading an email about our budget letter.
This is the worst written piece of trash I've ever seen.
We are live.
I wrote my own comments on it. FYI, we're live.
I think it was like brilliant
He's
budget
jealous
letter.
after my
Mm.
Jed. I mean, I hear everything he does. The big sign for Jed. that we-
Okay. We are here, House Education on February 27th, 2025. Just a quick committee discussion to talk about school construction as it is, needs to stay on the forefront of our radar, and we need to try to get some time to it. So my first question to everybody is, does anybody feel we need any more testimony? And I would just say, some of you may feel that way, but we've been taking testimony on it for 3 years.
I think you know the answer to that.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, the people are actually on the, summer.
Chris,
I know, I don't
any
need
thoughts?
any more.
Do you feel like we need more testimony? Or do you think we just need to sit down and make decisions
I
about things?
think we just need to start making some decisions on it. I think, you know, with everything that some of us have heard for quite a while on the committee over the summer, I think we're as far along as we can be, and now we need to start making some decisions.
What's the next step?
Are there questions people have that they need answers to from somebody other than us?
So I have a question just kind of about how the bill wall works, because one of the bills is about school construction. At some point, are we just gonna start going down the list and be like, do we want to take this up or no? Do we want to take this up or no?
So we will, I guess if the committee can come to me and say, I'd like to have us take up this bill. We don't have a lot of power as chairs, but I sort of control the wall and what we take up. So, I'm happy to, there was, good strong lobbying for the cardiac bill, so we took that up. We got some other things. So that's the way it works.
Okay,
Yeah, if you have strong issues, just come to me and we'll try to fit it in. And, in an ideal world where we weren't slammed with so much to do and talk about, we would have a bill instruction on every single one of those bills.
yeah.
Well, to me, a lot of them are related to the work we're doing, so
Exactly.
it almost seems like,
Yes.
do you wanna bring it up, because is it gonna
Yes.
be
No,
melded into the
many of them
bigger
are
issue?
drawing district lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't wanna color code.
All right, but we're on school construction for the moment.
Yeah,
Send me.
Yes.
so going back to the school construction, I'm not feeling any need for more testimony myself. I've been living and breathing it for long enough. But I'm not sure what the next steps are, because there are some issues within the language that we've been looking at that I still have some concerns about. I don't need more testimony.
Okay.
I just need discussion and
Yeah,
what's
we
in
just-
there
we
or
just-
not.
And when we come back.
And just for
we'll-
clarity, I'm talking about, oversight of the program, who's the on that task force or whatever it is, how that's utilized, and then the working,
Drawing up task force.
and the working, the rules making is still a question for me, because I've been asking around, and it feels, I'm not yet convinced that rulemaking should be where it is. Yeah, so just,
All right, great.
that's all.
Those, Rob?
So I know that, and I'm just reviewing because I don't know, or I think I know, so 15 years ago, the admin put the brakes on the school construction.
legislature.
Legislature.
The legislature did. Okay, so we're 15 years behind on that. So I guess my question is so where does the money come from if there
Yeah.
wasn't money then? And I mean, it feels like the pension thing, like deja vu, right?
So the money is obviously the big issue. It's not our issue. I am in, as you all can see, constant contact with the chair of Ways and Means about many things.
Yeah.
And, what's been, I think, great is that as we talk about the governor's proposal, whatever we have on the table, everybody seems to coalesce around the fact that we can't really change our structure terribly if we don't have school construction. So that's I think a positive in favor, and positive in favor of let's try to find some money somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm not a Ways and Means person, I'm not a budget person. We a budget is an estimate.
Mhm.
Oftentimes there are surpluses, but yeah, all the huge questions.
Mhm.
Somebody else.
Period. Yes, Kate.
Assuming the money was there, are the builders there?
Well, when we heard testimony from the folks in Rhode Island, they had a long lead up.
Mhm.
So it sort of put people in place. It's a huge question. But how do we know until we have the ability to even have a school construction program? We did hear in some testimony that if you have the program and there's money available and there's shovel-ready projects, all of which I would say exist other than money being available, they will come.
And it isn't just.
And we've also, I just would say, we have, it's not like we have money in the program and you're in. We put a lot of hoops you gotta jump through, such as a long-term facilities plan.
My other question is, has anything been explored about building inside?
What do you mean?
Inside.
Like
You mean,
Module,
segmented,
the modular
prefab kind
building.
of stuff?
so
I mean,
those topics were on your
Yeah.
list, right?
Yeah, and I think even before we started talking, over the summer, there's been discussion about modular or, different ways that can be done. I don't think any of it's really addressed in any of the language that we've come up with, but I think that's still viable conversations to have on how it gets.
I would say if we set up a commission, which we seem to be doing, we can task them with, looking, before a project group, they look at, performance-based thought, I think it's what it's called, where, anyway, modular design. I mean, one thing I do remember specifically is that, was to look at the concept of sort of standard design.
Yeah.
Which is
Like
what the.
3 or 4 that you could pick from. or
Exactly,
whatever.
yeah.
And we were, Department of Defense.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
they do there, so it's-
More efficient.
Yeah,
the military is definitely more efficient.
I was just gonna say that regarding that, I think it's not just modular design, but it's new emerging technology is happening all the time in the building trades. And I remember when the last building project I led, we tried to save money and we were using stress skin at the time where you had the walls, designed for yourself with, inside and an outside wall with all the insulation put in and the windows cut out. That's all done. It was kind of like the
Prefab.
fab, and it saved a significant amount of money by going that way.
Sure.
Fully insulated walls going up exactly the way you had designed them with an engineer. And that building has been highly utilized since then. It was about 15, 20 years ago. And so emerging technologies are really important.
Mhm.
And engineering is very important and costly part of the project.
You got any thoughts as to let's talk about decision points in the bill, which I should call up. My computer's acting very slow.
I don't think I have the letter.
Yeah,
available
what's the number?
Oh,
Bill?
I had it earlier.
But.
That we were entertaining.
Yeah.
The bill. What thing?
That's close.
Thank you, 129.
There it is. Something.
Right.
Down the bottom.
There it is.
All right,
John
so
Gray.
I will do our best to set aside time. So we have a timing issue as well.
Mhm.
And so I would say, so what I need to find out is, can we take this and put it into whatever transformation bill emerges from this committee? So that
This.
it moves forward, which gives us more time. Or do we need to, or do we need to meet the deadline? Well, frankly, should we really try to meet the deadline?
Can I ask a clarifying question? So do you mean,
Yeah.
should we try to get 129 as a standalone
Exactly,
before
that's the question, whether
crossover?
we stand alone or put it in the, and so I'll get some guidance on that timing of language issue.
It's hard to make a
And I think if we
standalone.
can meld it in, I think it goes along with.
Yeah,
It does.
I agree.
Anyways,
All right.
Because you're gonna wanna provide the incentives
You're gonna have to just
to
change
get
it.
the consolidation that you.
But it doesn't necessarily, depending on how the whole bill works out, it doesn't necessarily need to be fully prescribed in a program if it's gonna be 2 years down the road that schools are gonna be needing to apply or going. All I'm saying
Yeah,
is
well,
that
so,
the intent, the language could be, to include school construction aid, but not have it fully prescribed. I'm not trying to,
Mhm.
I'm not arguing against putting it in. I'm just saying that there are other ways to make sure we get it in without fully prescribing. And
No,
can
we've
I
got
just
it.
ask?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
We are please remind me, those of you who work on 129. This is completely separate now from any institutions committee and capital bill construction.
I would say
Aid.
only in the sense that, what we have in front of us emerged from a legislative task force.
Yeah.
This, summer that included house institutions.
Right.
And on the Senate side, education and finance, I think, are.
But there's not any, tie to the capital bill.
That's what I'm just trying to
Right.
establish, because that actually
That
makes it in some ways easier
Yes.
for us. And I just wanted to make sure we had that in place. Thank you. No, not the capital or anything.
I'll put another thought in. So if you, because it is very tied to no matter what transformation plan happens. But if you wanted to get something for crossover, is there parts of it that we could put through that has nothing to do with the transformation, to get it out there and then amend it next year? Again, I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but.
Potentially, I think that a facilities master plan grant program is
Yeah.
something that, is very important too. But again, that requires money.
Right. Okay, thank you.
And as far as our committee bill, and I know that Beth is, her typewriter's humming and ready to keep going with that. Is this something that we could fold in there?
Too big.
Like,
Well, I think it's
It's
what,
already
it's
built.
whatever transformation bill comes out of this room,
Oh,
we
that
can
bill.
fold it in.
Okay.
But, boy, there's a whole chicken and egg thing. to pull.
There is.
There is.
Which we can, the chicken and egg issue, we can put on the commission that has to approve the construction projects. No, seriously, because
Yeah. no,
they'll have a better
that's
sense of what the landscape is.
true. Mhm.
But I think our benefit that we have with this is that a committee bill has a longer timeline.
Yes.
So even if we put it in the committee bill that comes together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so doesn't as far as I know, the education transformation has a little bit of
Yes.
leeway of the
Yes.
timeline as well. So
Yes.
both of them
right,
have,
so we get a little,
yes.
A committee bill has,
Only-
leeway only in introducing, it still has to be
Still have to make
crossover.
crossover.
oh, what the committee bill does.
Yeah, which would still.
We
be
have,
covered by
we
it.
have,
So
so, no,
chicken and throw the
we
egg.
have a permission to be late.
Unless she's.
with education transformation.
Okay.
All right,
That's
well,
good.
that's good. I'm gonna just say we'll hold here, and then we've got 11:30 testimony.
Yep.
Lunch,
long
then
lunch.
we go into a big joint hearing.
What time is
My favorite.
lunch?
12 to 1:30, which is good, because I now have a meeting.
1:30 is our bigger
Yes.
joint.
Then I'll
Yeah,
go
we're down
on
in
and
11,
adjourn, and let's
right?
look at tomorrow, continues to have open space, right?
Yep.
All right,
Starting at 9.
let us scratch
So
9
this is the
o'clock.
last thing in here today.
And go. All right, we'll